Hello and welcome to News Tonight. You're watching your host Rajat Kane delivering the best of news that happened through the day. But before we begin the headlines, Rajya Sabha TV would like to make an appeal to all its viewers to stay safe from COVID-19 pandemic. Remember to wear a face mask and wash your hands and face regularly, and ensure that you maintain physical distancing whenever you are stepping outside. Well, these simple precautions are all it takes to defeat the pandemic. Well, time for headlines. BJP's Central Election Committee holds meeting ahead of Assembly elections to discuss names of party candidates for the upcoming polls in West Bengal and Assam. Prime Minister Modi, BJP President JP Nadda attend the meet. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee likely to announce TMC candidates for West Bengal polls tomorrow after RJD and SP. Shiv Sena also extends support to Trinamool Congress in Bengal. Kerala BJP proposes to declare Metroman E. Sridharan as NDA CM candidate. The need for screening of the content on the OTT platform, says Supreme Court, directs Centre to place recent guidelines before it. Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar says OTT industry representatives welcome new guidelines. Bengaluru, best city to live in India in the million-plus population category as per Ease of Living Index 2020. Shimla tops the chart in cities with population less than 1 million. Indore and Delhi rank first in Municipal Performance Index in the respective categories. And finally, science and technology should be used to improve quality of life, says Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu. Addressing the students of IIT Tirupati, emphasizes on emotional and social skills for engineering students along with technical knowledge. Well, it's time for news in details. Ahead of Assembly polls, BJP's Central Election Committee meeting is currently underway. Key decisions on candidates list for Assam and West Bengal polls are likely to be taken up during the meeting. The meeting is being attended by Prime Minister Modi, BJP President JP Nadda, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, among other leaders of the BJP. Earlier, Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP Chief JP Nadda held discussions with leaders of West Bengal, BJP National Vice President Mukul Roy, State in Charge Kailash Vijaywargiya and State Unit President Dilip Ghosh. A delegation of BJP on Thursday met Election Commission of India in National Capital to lodge complaint against Trinamool Congress. BJP's Bhupendra Yadav said the term of 125 municipal corporations in West Bengal, including Kolkata Municipal Corporation, ended an year ago, but state government appointed TMC leaders as administrators of these local bodies. The delegation has asked for removal of these administrators to ensure free and fair polls.
हमने चुनाव आयोग को कहा है कि पश्चिम बंगाल सरकार के द्वारा ये जो अवैध तरीके से म्यूनिसिपैलिटीज़ के और कॉरपोरेशन के जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर सभी टीएमसी के नेताओं को नियुक्त किया है, ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मैंडेट के खिलाफ है, ये आर्टिकल 243 में जो म्यूनिसिपैलिटी को जो पावर दिया उसके खिलाफ है, ये पश्चिम बंगाल के म्यूनिसिपैलिटी एक्ट के खिलाफ है और सर्वोच्च न्यायालय का भी एक निर्णय आया हुआ है, ये उस निर्णय के भी खिलाफ है। हमारा चुनाव आयोग से कहना है कि इस अवैधानिक नियुक्ति पर पश्चिम बंगाल के जो टीएमसी के नेता समय खत्म होने के बाद भी आज अवैध रूप से नियुक्तियों पर हैं, उनको तुरंत हटाया जाए, जिससे पश्चिम बंगाल में फ्री और फेयर इलेक्शन का माहौल बने।
Well, after Rashtriya Janata Dal or the RJD and Samajwadi Party, the Shiv Sena on Thursday extended its support to Trinamool Congress Chief Mamata Banerjee, saying it would not contest assembly elections in West Bengal. Shiv Sena leader and Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Raut in a tweet made the announcement and said decision was taken following discussions with party president and Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray. Well, TMC MP Saugata Rai welcomed Shiv Sena's decision. Reacting to the development, BJP said Shiv Sena, RJD or SP don't have any presence in Bengal and it hardly matters whom they support or not. Well, moving on, BJP in Kerala on Thursday said it has requested party's national leadership to declare Metro Man E. Sridharan as NDA's chief ministerial candidate in Kerala in the upcoming assembly elections. K. Sudhiran, BJP state president, said if NDA under leadership of E. Sridharan gets an opportunity to rule the state, we are confident we'll be able to implement development works under Prime Minister Modi with tenfold force in Kerala. Sridharan, the architect of Delhi Metro, had formally joined BJP on February 25th. The 88-year-old technocrat also on Thursday announced his decision to end his 24-long career with Delhi Metro Rail Corporation. Well, off to some other news. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Trivendra Singh Rawat presented budget of 57,400 crore for 2021-22 to the State Assembly on Thursday. Rawat said the budget contains vision of a self-reliant Uttarakhand and lays emphasis on health, rural infrastructure, employment generation and agriculture. The budget makes a provision of over 3,300 crore for medical and family welfare department. About 1,511 crore has been allotted for PWD, 954 crore for PM Gram Sadak Yojana, 695 crore for infrastructure schemes and 385 crore for state roads and highways. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Thursday addressed 6th Institute Day of Indian Institute of Technology at Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh. In his address, he said science and technology should improve the quality of people's life, adding that technological advancement is a key factor in development of a country. He also cautioned to remain vigilant about the environment and climate change while keeping pace with technological advances.
Our understanding of our culture and heritage and pass on this to the coming generation. This is the current challenge. We should not only strengthen our economy, we should make people's life more happy. Mere wealth along with health and wealth, both are required, but at the same time, happiness. Science and technology should work in the direction of bringing happiness. Sampada unnanta matrana santosham radu.
Well, Vice President emphasized on the importance of emotional and social skills for engineering students along with technical skills to enable them to adapt to a rapidly changing world. He also stressed on the need to increase employability of engineering students, stating that IITs represent the face of new, resurgent and aspirational India. He also appealed to IIT students to connect their knowledge with social relevance.
Every year, we produce around 1.5 million engineers, but a survey suggests that only 7% of them are suitable for core engineering jobs. We have to increase employability and ensure the skills required for the world of work are imported. More attention should be given to build a stronger academia-industry connection.
The Vice President also on Thursday expressed his concern over the urban-rural gap in health infrastructure. He called upon the private sector to join hands with the government to bring the latest healthcare diagnostics and treatment facilities to rural areas at an affordable cost. The Vice President was speaking at the inauguration of Amara Multi-Speciality Hospital in Tirupati.
Everybody has to be advised, properly educated. Doctors, actors, and even media Everybody should educate the people about preventive steps. This is more important, preventive steps. The doctors working in hospitals, they should visit the nearby villages, educate the people, enlighten the people, create awareness.
Well, expressing his concern over the rise in non-communicable diseases, the Vice President called upon everyone to adopt a healthy lifestyle. Naidu also called for spreading awareness on health schemes like Ayushman Bharat so that the underprivileged could take advantage of it.
You need to eat protein food. మనమేమో ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఫ్యాషన్ కోసం పాలిష్ అని దాంట్లో ఉండే అంత పోషకాలు తీసేసి ఆ రంగు కోసం తెల్లంగా తిని తెల్లంగా వస్తున్నాం. ఆ ఎర్రంగా ఉండే నెత్తురు కూడా పోయి. అందుకని మనం వీ హ్యావ్ టు ఫోకస్ ఆన్ ప్రోటీన్. ఈ జంక్ ఫుడ్ అవాయిడ్ చేయాలి. డాక్టర్ చెప్పాలి అందరికి పేషెంట్కి. జంక్ ఫుడ్, పిజ్జాలు బర్గర్లు ఆ దేశానికి పనికి వస్తాయి, మన దేశానికి పనికిరావు. మన వాతావరణం వేరు. అవర్ ఫుడ్ ఈజ్ డిజైన్డ్ బై అవర్ ఫోర్ ఫాదర్స్, డిజైన్డ్ అకార్డింగ్ టు సీజన్ అండ్ రీజన్.
Well, M. Venkaiah Naidu also lauded healthcare personnel for their selfless service in the fight against pandemic. He also appealed to all the eligible citizens to get vaccinated. Time for a short break. More on the other side. Defeat coronavirus. Let us always remember, wear a mask. Wash hands. Follow physical distancing. Together, we'll succeed. Together, we'll win against COVID-19.
Watch the big picture at 9:30 p.m. only on Rajya Sabha television.
Article 73 talks about the executive power of the Indian Union. It says that the executive power of the Union shall extend to the matters with respect to which Parliament has power to make laws, to the exercise of such rights, authority and jurisdiction as are accessible by the Government of India by virtue of any treaty or agreement.
Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. Now, retirement fund body EPF on Thursday decided to retain interest rate on provident fund deposits for current financial year at 8.5%. There were speculations that the EPFO would lower interest on provident fund deposits for this fiscal due to withdrawals and lesser contribution by members amid the coronavirus pandemic. The decision to not lower interest rates is a welcome move for India's nearly 5 crore EPFO subscribers, for whom a provident fund is often the only way or mode to save up for retirement. In March last year, the EPFO had lowered interest rates on the provident fund deposits to a 7-year low of 8.5% for 2019-20 from 8.65% in 2018-19. EPFO has more than 5 crore active subscribers. Well, according to latest data released by the government, foreign direct investment in India grew 40% to $51.47 billion during April-December 2020-21. Well, India has attracted 22% higher FDI inflow, which includes reinvested earnings of $67.54 billion during first 9 months of the current fiscal, as against $55.14 billion in the same period of 2019-20. The inflow increased by 37% in third quarter, that is October to December 2020 of 2020-21 to $26.16 billion. The data also showed that in December last year, FDI surged 24% to $9.22 billion. The measures taken by the government on the fronts of the FDI policy, reforms, investment facilitation and ease of doing business have resulted in increased FDI inflow in the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed gratitude to all the nations who initiated and co-sponsored India's resolution declaring 2023 as International Year of Millets at the United Nations. In a tweet, Prime Minister said that India is honoured to be at the forefront of popularizing millets as its consumption further nutrition, food security and welfare of the farmers. He said it also offers research and innovation opportunities for agricultural scientists and startup communities. He stated that delegates were also served delicious millet murukku, that's a snack, and urged everyone to try it. On Wednesday, 193-member UN General Assembly adopted a resolution sponsored by India declaring 2023 as International Year of Millets. The resolution was passed by consensus with support of over 70 nations. The resolution aims at raising awareness about health benefits of millets and their suitability for cultivation under changing climatic conditions. India's permanent representative to UN, T.S. Trimurthy, thanked all co-sponsors, especially Bangladesh, Kenya, Nepal, Nigeria, Russia and Senegal for their strong support. He further said that there is an urgent need to promote the nutritional and ecological benefit of millets to consumers, producers and decision makers to improve production, research and development investments and the food sector linkages. Well, a three-day combined commanders conference commenced from Friday at Kevadia in Gujarat. Theaterization of armed forces, self-reliance in defense sector and evolving threats in the region will be the focus area during three-day annual event. Prime Minister Modi will address the conference of country's top military leaders in Kevadia on Saturday. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh will address the top commanders of Indian Army, Navy and Air Force on Friday. Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat will attend the conference, and the conference will also see participation of Jawans and junior commissioned officers for the first time. India on Thursday proposed the inclusion of Iran's Chabahar port in International North-South Transport Corridor, a 7,200-kilometer multi-mode route spanning 12 countries. Addressing the virtual Chabahar Day event organized on the margins of the Maritime India Summit 2021, External Affairs Minister S.J. Shankar expressed hope that member states involved in INSTC will agree on expanding membership of the project. Jaishankar welcomed the interest shown by Uzbekistan and Afghanistan in joining the multilateral corridor. He added the shift in fulcrum of global economic growth towards Asia is creating unprecedented opportunities for connectivity in the region.
We also welcome the interest of Uzbekistan and Afghanistan to join the multilateral corridor project. Establishing an eastern corridor through Afghanistan would maximize its potential. India also proposed the inclusion of Chabahar in the INSTC route. I'm hopeful that during the INSTC Coordination Council meeting, member states would agree to the expansion of the INSTC route to include the Chabahar port and also agree on expanding the membership of this project.
Well, Minister of State for Shipping Mansukh Lal Mandavia said the Chabahar port has emerged as connecting point for the region to deliver humanitarian assistance during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Chabahar port has emerged as the connecting point for the region of deliver humanitarian assistance during the COVID pandemic. India has used Chabahar port to ship wheat to Afghanistan.
Well, moving on, External Affairs Minister S.J. Shankar met his Bangladeshi counterpart A.K. Abdul Mumin and held discussion on ways to boost bilateral ties. Jaishankar said Bangladesh was central to India's neighbourhood first policy and increasingly relevant to country's Act East policy. The minister added that there are enormous possibilities of growth of ties between the two countries. Jaishankar described India's strategic ties with Bangladesh as a truly 360-degree partnership. Jaishankar also met Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in Dhaka. During the meeting, Jaishankar conveyed Prime Minister Modi's greetings to Sheikh Hasina. He also praised her sagacity and leadership that inspires the bilateral ties Jaishankar is on a day-long visit to prepare the grounds for Prime Minister's visit to Bangladesh later this month to participate in 50th anniversary celebrations of Bangladesh's liberation and 50 years of Indo-Bangladesh diplomatic relations. Union Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri released Ease of Living Index on Thursday. The rankings were announced for cities with a population of more than 1 million and cities with less than 1 million people. 111 cities participated in the assessment exercise that was conducted in the year 2020. Bengaluru was adjudged the most livable in the million-plus population category, while Pune was ranked second. Other cities in the top were Ahmedabad, Chennai, Surat, Navi Mumbai and Indore. Shimla topped the category of cities with population less than 1 million. In this category, Bhubaneswar was ranked second, Silvassa came third, and they were followed by Kakinada, Salem, Vellore, Gandhinagar and Gurugram. Muzaffarpur figured at the bottom of livability index for 62 cities in less than million population category. Similar to the Ease of Living Index, the assessment framework under Municipal Performance Index 2020 classified municipalities based on their population, million plus and less than million population. In the million plus category, Indore emerged as the highest ranked municipality, followed by Surat and Bhopal. In the less than million category, New Delhi Municipal Council emerged as the leader, followed by Tirupati and Gandhinagar. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. Moving on, Supreme Court on Thursday stressed on the need for screening of programs shown on the OTT platforms like Netflix and Amazon Prime. A bench headed by Justice Ashok Bhushan asked Centre to place before it the recent guidelines to regulate social media platforms. Hearing an appeal filed by Amazon India's head Aparna Purohit against the Allahabad High Court order on Tandav web series, the Apex Court observed that a balance has to be struck as some OTT platforms are also showing pornographic materials on their platform. The Supreme Court decision has come days after government came out with new guidelines for social media and the OTT platform. Meanwhile, Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting Prakash Javadekar met with representatives of the OTT industry and explained the provisions of the OTT rules. He said the representatives welcomed the fresh guidelines issued by the ministry. He also added that they would partner together towards making experience on the platform better for the audience. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Thursday took the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine at Fortis Hospital in Delhi's Vasant Kunj. Union Minister Prahlad Singh Patel also received the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine in Delhi. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha also got vaccinated against COVID-19. He received the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine at the Government Medical College Hospital in Jammu. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal also administered his first dose of COVID-19 vaccine at Lok Nayak Jayaprakash Hospital in Delhi. He appealed to all eligible people to get vaccinated, asserting that there was nothing to fear. Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Jairam Thakur also took the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine in Shimla. Well, moving on to COVID-19 update, over 1 crore 66 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccines have been administered across the country so far. The beneficiaries include nearly 68 lakh healthcare workers who have received the first dose, 28 lakh healthcare workers who have been administered the second dose, besides 58 lakh frontline workers who received the first dose and 4,000 frontline workers who have received the second dose of the vaccine. In addition, 1.43 lakh beneficiaries aged more than 45 years with comorbidities and over 10 lakh beneficiaries aged above 60 years have been administered the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Meanwhile, India's COVID-19 case tally rose to 1.11 crore with over 17,000 new infections in last 24 hours. Maharashtra, Kerala, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat and Karnataka continue to report a surge in daily new cases. These states contribute to 85.51% of fresh cases reported in past 24 hours, and India's active cases reached 1.73 lakh, comprising 1.55% of total positive cases. COVID-19 recoveries have crossed 1.8 crore with 14,031 recoveries in the same period. The country's COVID-19 recovery rate presently stands at 97.03% and the death toll increased to 1,57,435 with 89 deaths in last 24 hours. Well, that's it in this bulletin. But before we leave, let me remind you once again to stay safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Remember to wear a face mask and wash your hands and face regularly. And ensure that you maintain physical distancing whenever you are stepping outside. Remember, these are small precautions, all that it takes to defeat this pandemic. Thank you. Stay safe. Goodbye.